Civil Rights Act is the law of the land, and the question confronting us is, what shall our reaction be to the law? Every indication is that the citizens of North Carolina will obey the law. This is a result of a good climate of tolerance and understanding which exists here. And I think it's a wonderful credit to the people of the state. Everybody can be sure this new law is going to be tested in the courts, and very soon. But in the meantime, as law-abiding people, we must rely on the established legal procedures in the courts and not on force of any kind. Force and bitterness are not in keeping with the North Carolina tradition, and we must not let such feelings control our actions. Before the enactment of the Civil Rights Law, many of the cities and towns in North Carolina were making vigorous voluntary efforts to provide much greater opportunities which the Negroes sought. At the state level, we had established the North Carolina Good Neighbor Council in recognition of the justice of the Negroes' pleas for better economic opportunities. The council has been conducting a program planned to increase job opportunities and to sharpen the skills of all who might be able to fill better jobs. This work must continue if substance is to be given to the larger measure of freedom for all people. I repeat a statement that I made some months ago to the following effect. Now is a time not merely to look back to freedom, but forward to the fulfillment of its meaning. Despite great progress, the Negro's opportunity to obtain a good job has not been achieved in most cases across the country. Reluctance to accept the Negro in employment is the greatest single block to his continued progress and to the full use of the human potential of the nation and its states. It is my hope that the spirit which has characterized much of the work that has been done in the interest of racial justice in the past several years in this state will survive and be strengthened, and that the Negro leaders will manifest their own sense of increased responsibility. They should recognize that the federal statute cannot accomplish for them the economic advance they seek, and that they will need the goodwill of employers to reduce the economic disparity they suffer now. My appeal to our people of both races is unchanged, therefore. That appeal is that we honor the law, that we deal justly, love mercy, and walk humbly before God. That way we will find peace and the kind of progress that can enrich all our people, both spiritually and materially.
The radio and television stations of North Carolina present a report to the people by Governor Terry Sanford. Since this report on the past 4 years of his administration will be of special interest to all students, the governor has invited students from Raleigh's Needham Broughton High School to be with him in our studio. Here is Governor Terry Sanford.
During the past 4 years, among other things, I've been traveling about the state, visiting schools, and talking to students about what I hoped we could do in North Carolina and what I hoped we could do in the schools, and how I had a very real feeling that the students could do about as much as any other group in setting high standards of quality and in achieving those standards by better performance in schools, and in insisting to their elders, their parents, their leaders, their school people, and the people in government who vote money, that they wanted to have the best school system in all the world. And I believe that the students working together and catching this spirit have done much to contribute to the improvement of education in this state, and because of that, really to help in the total effort to improve education all across the country. So I thought maybe on this last day, as I had a chance to talk to the people of the state and again to the students of the state, that we might have what we could call a final conference with the students of North Carolina on where North Carolina has been and where we hope it'll continue to move in the future. I grew up in Laurinburg, which is a town about 60 miles south of Raleigh, and on the wall of the house that I had lived in until I was about 14, there was a framed drawing, the toast to the Old North State. It, as you know, probably all of you know it, but it goes something like this. Here's to the land of the longleaf pine, the summer land where the sun doth shine, where the weak grow strong and the strong grow great. Here's to down home, the Old North State. Well, that's what we've been trying to do in North Carolina, is to make it truly a place where the weak grow strong and the strong grow great. And that's what it's all been about. And that's what everything that we've done in government in the past 4 years has been measured against. Can we make North Carolina the kind of a community where all the people can have their best chance to grow strong and then to grow still stronger and to greatness? And everything we've done, you measured against that ideal and that hope and that challenge, and you'll find that we have tried to follow that light. Now, I don't mean physically strong and physically great alone, though that's important, and you know something about our physical fitness programs, and some of you have participated in those programs, and a couple of you obviously haven't. You know something about the wonderful climate that we have here, the attractions for people who are retiring to come here. So that kind of physical climate is good, and we're proud of it and glad to have it. But when we talk about growing strong and growing great, we're talking about something of far greater significance and fuller meaning than just physical well-being and physical strength. I think this business of growing strong begins with you, begins with all students. And that's why I've been talking to you and moving about the state and visiting with you, because I think we start with people who are developing and who have their chance now in brains and talents to use all of those talents here at home. So we want to create the kind of jobs right here that can challenge you and give you as good a challenge as you get anywhere else. That's why the state is engaged in the business of trying to provide better jobs and broader economic opportunities. Not just to have jobs, but because jobs give people a chance to grow stronger, and ultimately the whole people a chance to grow greater. So we've done a great deal in doing something about jobs. We can't create jobs, the state can't make jobs, but what we can do is to make this the kind of place that will be attractive to people who can create jobs, to industry. And so we've spent a lot of time trying to get industry to come here. Your father's a good example. It came here with a whole new system of plants because North Carolina looked to him as if it were an attractive place, that they could come here and make a profit, and that they could come here and do well. And so we've been trying to appeal to industry in that way, so jobs will be created, not by the state, but because of the efforts that the state has been making. Now, you can measure also our hope to grow stronger and greater by what we've done in highways. You might think, well, highways don't have much to do with people, but they do, because they give you a better chance in life. They help you grow strong, and they help keep you home. Governor Scott's roads, secondary roads, giving us the finest system of secondary roads anywhere in the country, have contributed so much to the industrial development, because people who live out in non-urban legislature, which did so many good things, created the Board of Science and Technology. Now, this board, made up of professors and businessmen, is charged with the responsibility of relating the new technological achievements in the country and in the world to North Carolina industry.